we can record with Asaf and Yaron because they are based in Europe, and we can record with my friend Carles Benavent, who is based in Barcelona. And then we arrived in 2017 to record multiple projects. And I have to say that this project Hari Ketiga in Indonesian Bahasa language means the third day. Why is called the third day? Because it was recorded on the third day of Dwiki Darmawan multiple sessions. First 2 days, we recorded an album called Rumah Batu, which is with Carles Benavent, Yaron Stavi, Asaf Sirkis, and Nguyen Lee. And then that was kind of mostly kind of composed music, you know, very elaborated composed music. Then Markus came, and then Boris as well from Italy, and Asaf was already there. I said to Dwiki, look, you know, we need to do like improvisational, something improv, because I wanted to connect Dwiki and Markus, because Dwiki already collaborated with Boris and especially with Asaf, but I always believed that Dwiki and Markus can create some amazing music together, because the way that Markus plays, it benefits all other musicians. And that's exactly what happened. See, like Markus is known as a ferocious kind of soloist, but also it's great. It's known also as a guy who is listening to other people. And then Dwiki was able to fly with all his talent. And this was recorded in the beautiful La Casa Murada, which is 11th and 14th century farmhouse, 1 hour west of Barcelona. I will be actually moving next year very close to that area. And it's a very magic place. It's middle of nowhere, like vineyards and all around like Mediterranean kind of surroundings, like only like 20 kilometers from the Adriatic, from the Mediterranean Sea. And everything was great. We had a great sounding engineer who is an amazing person. We had amazing people, and magic just happened. Like musicians didn't talk about what kind of music to do, which key, nothing. They just started playing, and simply they played for almost 4 hours. And then what is on album, it's not everything. It's kind of maybe 2/3 of the whole thing, like around 155, 156 minutes. It's a double CD. And then after that session happened, when I came back to New York, I was listening that, and I don't know, something took me, kind of possessed me, and I went to, you know, I'm not very good with technicalities about recording, but I have very basic garage band software on my Mac, and I just started playing. Like in matter of 2 hours, I just took certain part, because the improvisations were very long. One improvisation was like for 75 minutes. We are talking about very, you know, they were just playing, like, you know, like nothing else exists in this world. And then I heard story in my head, and I just moved things around. And then I contacted Boris, and I was feeling that there is something wrong in the world. And I said to Boris, look, we have to add some lyrics here, because there is a story. And Boris said, look, I have a friend of mine who is a lyricist, Alessandro Duccoli. We will write some story. And then he added lyrics. Actually, the whole album was recorded live, no overdubs. But Boris recorded lyrics in Italian. And maybe Marcello, are you here? Can you hear us?
Yep, yeah, yes.
Okay, maybe Marcello, now you can kind of, from your perspective, kind of explain kind of this kind of thing that you can better explain than me, because I will be very subjective, like, you know, to explain how this kind of, because you know everything about this album, how these things happen, like, you know, from getting like a rough kind of mix, changing things around. Actually, I never cut the music. I just took the parts, like, and then, you know, there is nothing is amended, like it's just that was played. But then I just changed the order of the tunes. And then I ask Boris to add some lyrics, some vocal effects. Maybe you can elaborate this from your objective perspective.
I will start from not my words. I will start from something that Boris mentioned when I had a chat with him, which was really super interesting. Just a few minutes ago, we spoke about Beaches Brew. Okay, everyone has thrills when mentioning this incredible, this most important album. And Boris mentioned something very, very interesting when we had a chat about Ari Ketiga. He told Leonardo is kind of acting like Tio Macero and Miles Davis at the same time. Okay, that's a very, very important comparison for you, Leo. Let me explain. Boris told Tio Macero brought the final tapes of Beaches Brew and created something completely new. And this sort of Ari Ketiga is something completely different from the hours of improvisation. You will hear cuts here and there. You will hear some recordings that happened after that session. You will hear added sound, a lot of work been done by Mark Winfield during the editing session. But you also acted, Leo, as a center for many musicians to allow them to play together with really no rule attached. Every one of them came in the room and everybody can feel that there is pure improvisation and really every one of them bringing what they had. And when you came back, you rearranged the tapes. I remember listening to the very early tapes, and they were very different in a certain way from what they are now. So there's been a lot of work in just the last 3 years in creating what is now Hari Ketiga. So probably I will hand it over to the very first person who did this work immediately after those tapes were recorded. So probably to Boris, who received back those tapes, and he wanted to add something else.
Yeah, because actually, when I sent that was kind of in the middle of the summer, in early August or late July of 2017. I sent the first person that I sent. It's Boris. Actually, didn't send anything to other musicians, and I said to Boris, we have to do something here. And then actually, me and Boris started kind of working on that. And then when we presented that idea to Dwiki said, oh, "Wow, like this is something else." And then Boris, tell us your story when you received those kind of cuts from the music that I sent you.
First of all, ciao everybody. I'm very happy you all are here. I'm very honored to be part of this presentation and to be part of this album, which was really, really magic. Everything that Leonardo and Marcello said is absolutely true. And the situation there was, first of all, magic. I can tell you. All the week was magic because this idea that Leonardo got to put all of us into the magic of La Casa Murada is something incredible. It's something really that reminds me when I was reading those books, you know, those biographies about those big, amazing albums where people just stayed together for days and days and produce the music. That's what happened, you know, that week. And Ari Ketiga, and my friend Wiki can tell you, it means in Indonesian the third day, because the recording had been recorded on the third day of this amazing week. And what happened was really something magic. We just came into the room, and this is another great thing. Marcello told you about my idea of this kind of Beaches Brew. Leonardo was working like Theo Macero, working on these tapes and cutting these tapes out. Also, what Leonardo did is I used to call Leonardo is a kind of the chemistry of music, because he asked us to play together. And of course, I had the honor to play together with Vicky in the past, same as with Asaf. But for example, I never had the pleasure to play with Markus. And Markus never played with me. So he just put together those people who never played in that combo, in that situation together. That was a kind of crazy the first time. But after like, I think 20 minutes, half an hour, everything flew very, very naturally. And we didn't have a chart. We didn't have scores pre-written before. We just have, I mean, the feelings. We just start to listen to each other and we just start to just the music flow, and everything works so naturally. And we didn't understand how much time was going on, and when we finished the session, we realized we played for hours, you know. And during this session, coming to the question of Marcello, during this session I was just trying to put my voice as an instrument, as I like to do, and as I was free to do in this spatial recording. And I just put some kind of secret moments. I just put some small melodies time to time that I was thinking about that could fit in that particular moment. But I didn't want to ruin it. I just wanted to flow with the music. And when we came back, and when Leonardo wrote me about, and if you remember, Leonardo, you wrote me about that sometime, but I didn't realize it. I just started to do some spontaneous words, some in Italian, some in English, and it came out the word Planet Gaia. And Leonardo was amazed by this Planet Gaia, and he told me about this. Oh, just think about something about this Planet Gaia. And this was a kind of a thing that I asked to Alessandro, who is the lyricist of the album, to talk about. So when all the things came back to me, I just find it out that the cutted part by Leonardo contains those kind of secrets melody that I put. And so little by little, I start to develop those melodies again. And when I had those melodies just in the form of melody, just in written music, no words, I just gave everything to Alessandro and start to talk to Alessandro about the session, the experience of the session. Alessandro is a very creative guy and a great lyricist and a great writer. And he just started to take all these informations, you know, from me, from Leonardo, and start to write down the story. And he also talked about the Gaia planet, of course, and he came out with this incredible story divided into 8 chapters. And well, the
nine chapters.
Nine chapters. Okay. Sorry.
Yes, but this is the thing, like, you know, about this kind of imaginary Planet Gaia, because as I say, like in 2017, we were already kind of feeling that there is something very wrong happening in this world.
Yep.
Not just in USA, not just in Europe, everywhere in the world. The world is becoming a little bit crazy. And when we were at La Casa Murada, we were kind of on our own planet. But we were, you know, all around our little planet, little oasis, you know, there was that troubled world. And that's why when you were doing this kind of Italian haiku, like Planet Gaia or other things, like, you know, I said, like, you know, okay, let's invent the story that we are there. We are kind of isolated from this world. We don't like this world, but we would like to fight for a better world. And then let's create this kind of imaginary kind of fight against the evil. And this is actually album what it's all about. And actually this is only first chapter of the thing, because we will record another album, because everything now in this album imaginarily is happening on this planet, but we would like to go to another planet, to Planet Gaia. In the next album we will actually figuratively record on Planet Gaia. It will be kind of sci-fi album. I don't know, you know, musicians will improvise. Then from that planet we will come back triumphantly to the earth. It's kind of like kind of imaginary trilogy of the hope that this world can be a better place to be, because unfortunately it is not. And you know, and Alessandro and Boris were very good in perceiving that idea, and Alessandro created this kind of great kind of lyrics based on a Latin Roman poet Lucretius. He can explain that a little bit better, and Boris just overdubbed that actually that same year. Actually, this album took like a little bit long to be released for various reasons, but I believe that right now it's just a perfect time to be released. And maybe Alessandro, you can tell us, like, continue the story of Boris and tell us like kind of what you have heard when you first heard the album, and when you spoke to Boris, what has to be done in terms of lyrics.
Okay, you listen to me?
Yeah.
Okay. First, I have to say thank to everybody because for me it's a very, very incredible experience with these wonderful musicians and this wonderful project. Very, very crazy, but amazing too. Boris came to me as usual after some recording and told me about this project and sent me the records, the music lines, and told me, what do you think about a kind of space story? It's easy and easy explained. And I have listened the tracks for 3 or 4 days, and I said for me it's really interesting because he said that Duiki and the whole team need to made a kind of uh, her earth scream, her less scream, a kind of ambientalist. Marcello, help me. Messaggio ambientalista, salviamo il pianeta.
Yeah, that's much of the really of the ecology of the view of the trying really to find a different view of the earth, and that was really
it's all
at the
about
core
saving the
what
planet. Yeah.
Yes, and for me it's really easy because my job is forest planning, and every day I have to work and forest conservations, and so after that I have this idea about Lucrezio, huge opera, De Reum Natura, because Lucrezio is a master of great people like Charles Darwin, J.B. Lamarck. I have studied in university this personaggi,
Personalities.
this scientist, and my point of view, it's our point of view is always the point of view of man, not the point of view of science. So I try to imagine a murder, or obviously the earth murdered by man, and the third character in this story is the event horizon. He don't have a soul. He don't have a conscience. It's pure physics. It's pure chemical process. So he watch this these two characters analyze the l'accaduto, the fact, a murderer, who what's happened, and the entire story play about this philosophical analysis of the main point of view of everybody. And it's really difficult because I tried to put a sci-fi story, but you know, it's a kind of novel, but it's really hard after Asimov, Douglas Adams, Farmer, making a new sci-fi story in the space. But I think it's a great job because we do, and the music is really incredible because I have to listen maybe 50 or maybe 100 times the recording, and that's because it's really huge project, and it's the main difficult by me. It's continue to maintain every side of music in a unique project, but amazing job. I'm very happy because we do. I hope you understand, but you have to know that I am a lyricist of the project, but the only one I think that talking a little bit English with lyrics in English, I'm a jerk.
But no worries, there's a booklet of like 18 pages, so you can read everything that Alessandro told them.
And also,
yes.
he couldn't join because he's hiking us every Sunday. Like my very good friend from Seattle, Dennis Ray, he actually was, he's a professional writer, and he made kind of all the text by Marcello and Alessandro, like in a proper English, of course. Marcello and Alessandro, proved everything, and we had a very good team in all this. And I guess I would like to go now to Asaf. We will talk to Maestro Vicky later, but Asaf, let us know, like, of course, you did that session for 2 days before with Vicky, Nguyen Lee, Yaron Stavi, and Carles Benavent.
That's right, yeah.
All for 2 days, it was very much involved music, and but then that third day, the Hari Ketiga day, tell us your impression on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, in terms, I mean, maybe comparing the two sessions is a good departure, I guess,
Right.
to understand what it was from my point of view. So here's the thing, when I do a normal, quote unquote, normal music project, which is, anything around the year, but, coming to La Casa Murada, and then everything becomes different than normal. But what I mean, usually when I do most music project, it kind of, I'm kind of directed in a way to put out of myself a certain side of myself in order to serve the music. And I always try to do that to the best of my ability, play for the music, think about what the composer or what the band leader is thinking about, and try to complement that and echo that somehow in the way I play and serve the music. And it's usually, some projects you can say they're jazz. I don't like that word at all, but they're jazz. Some projects are pop. Some projects are fusion. Some projects are, cover versions of other composers. This project was so different in the sense that, if you can imagine a big cupboard and this cupboard represents what you can do as a musician. So when I do a normal project, I go to one compartment of the cupboard and I open it and I get out something that I need to serve the music. In the case of Hari Ketiga, I had to open all the compartment. I had to open everything and to go to the shop to buy a new cupboard and to put on top of that, because one of the things I really loved, and especially what I love about Vicky's playing, is that there is no sense of, oh, I shouldn't play that because it's not jazz, or I shouldn't play that because it's not, or it is something. We all are musicians who play different styles of music. So, for instance, I'm known for playing jazz or mid-Eastern jazz or improvise me, whatever I'm known for. I don't even know. But there's so much more that is happening in the life of a musician. So, for instance, I sometimes do pop sessions for singers that are straight pop or really, really commercial work, because we all need to make a living. We all need to play music and pay the bills, pay the rent. So usually in other so-called artistic projects, we kind of put that in the back. I don't want all this commercial stuff to come inside this artistic stuff. Here there was nothing like that. Everything was there. It's like you come to the kitchen and you try to cook something and you say, oh, let me put a little bit of cumin and a little bit of curry. No, let's put everything we've got. Put it all in the big goulash of intense and amazing music that is really one side of it is the personalities of each one of the great musicians that I feel very honored to play with. But on the other hand, it's also the situation. La Casa Murada, Munjun, the whole approach is, let's go and do something that nobody else does. Okay, so I had to be, I think in this project, in terms of my own playing, I had to be the most resourceful. And in the sense that I really had to pull from everywhere, you know. So like on this recording, I played some, you know, drumming style that you can call free jazz or whatever. But I also play a drumming style that I could have played back in the 90s when I worked 5 nights a week in Jewish weddings as well, you know. It's all there. It's really all there, and I feel very fortunate to be in a situation where nothing is, you know, everything is allowed. You know, you can show every side of yourself without criticism, without the fear of, oh, it's not cool, or it's not jazz, or it's not whatever. And so for my experience, it was extremely colorful, and, you know, from one side very challenging, but from another side very easy as well, because I was just feeling I'm being myself, and I'm showing myself in many different sides and many different styles of my playing that I've developed over the years, I guess.
Yeah, I would like to add something before I ask Vicky for comment, because we had this kind of need for complete and absolute freedom. See, like I have to tell my little background story. I was born in former Yugoslavia, in today's region of Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is new country. Even though no one from my family is actually from Bosnia, they came after 1944. Five after the war, they come to this region. They're coming from all over Mediterranean region, from Montenegro, from Croatia, from Turkey, Lebanon, whatever. But I had very difficult childhood. But I always was a very optimistic person, and I always was looking for absolute freedom. I never wanted to be part of any group of anything. I was just wanted to be myself, and it was very difficult to be myself. Then I moved to Italy after growing up with my grandparents, and even though like the life was great, I was in Mediterranean Italy, in Apulia, southern Italy, was everything great, but something was missing. And that thing that was missing was that freedom, my personal freedom. Then when I came in New York 30 years ago, exactly, I achieved that freedom, but I still was thinking that I don't have that freedom. Something was missing. But when we started the La Casa Morada session in 2016, the first day recording was with Asaf, with you, with Markus, with Mark Winfield. Something happened in my head, because I saying that's exactly freedom. And actually, we released the 2 albums from those sessions. First day, it's the album that released the second one, Lighthouse. And the second day was with Jaron Stavi, who accidentally was there because he's supposed to do another session. We just asked him, can you play with us? And we recorded the Stonehouse, which is the first album released from those sessions. And that's when I was feeling, say, wow, this is exactly what I wanted to do. Like, because the ambience was great, environment was great, everything is great. We were great. We were feeling the absolute freedom. See, like, I'm not musician, but that represents exactly kind of music that I always wanted to imagine. It's a freedom, because nobody was saying to other guy like what to do. It was just flowing spontaneously. Like, there is a lot of recording material that didn't end up on those albums, but every single second was absolute manifesto of the personal and collective freedom. And this Hari Ketiga is just kind of next step. And I believe that, once we go there, or not necessarily in La Casa Morada, but we are planning to do many other sessions there, especially when I move in that part of the world, just to continue to exercise this freedom, not necessarily with improvised music, but also with music that is written. See, like, even the music that we did, like with Mark Winfield, Tales from the Dreaming City, which is a kind of composed music, or Dviki's album Ruma Batu, or a couple of other albums like the one that you did with Dusan Jeftovic and Vasil Hadjimanov, No Answer. Those are composed albums, but still the sense for freedom was always there. We were happy. Like, first year I was the cook, second year we were ordering food, the third year my friend from Spain, from Bosnian guy, but who lives in Sweden, who is a professional chef, came, he cooked for everybody. Like, we were just playing in one room, which is beautiful kind of 11th century room. Then we were going to the kitchen, which is located in the 14th century part of the building. And we were just eating and drinking great wine. Asaf does drink, but everybody else was drinking great wine. And we were just feeling so good. We are going outside. There's that Mediterranean flavor and smell. And we were just happy. And I remember one year, Markus was supposed to come like 2 years ago to come to the session to do some, more music, but unfortunately he couldn't come. He was at the airport, I believe, in Düsseldorf. And then the flight was canceled. Then after it was canceled, they had kind of a strike all over the Europe, and he couldn't come. And then no flights the next day, and he's supposed to go to Kazakhstan a few days later for a festival, and then he couldn't come. And, and that's the, Asaf, you are the only one with me who did all the years. Mark was supposed to be that year, but, and also Mark supposed to be there all, but last year he was sick and he couldn't come. And, but this is the thing, like, it's absolute freedom. And now I will pass word to my friend for many, many years, my Indonesian brother, Dwiki Dermawan, because he can say about that freedom, how he felt that freedom, not only with Asaf and Boris, with whom they played for several years before that, but also with Markus. Markus allowed him to be freer than ever. Okay, Maestro Dwiki, it's your turn.
Thank you, Leonardo. Assalamualaikum. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good midnight, everyone. Yes, this is the wildest exploration that have occurred in my music. I think everything goes like not too many planned before, but then like magic, all goes, and this music just happens. I just follow my heart, and I heard music from Markus, the sound from Asaf, from Boris. There is a spirit of encouragement from the atmosphere that, of course, the openness for Leonardo, the person that's really open, very special, make us breaking free is something that is not easy at the beginning. Yes, of course, I want to thank everyone for the extraordinary contribution and roles. I'm very honored to be among such extraordinary people. It's an amazing experience and unlimited exploration. Regardless of industrial boundaries, I got the self-liberation. Of course, my native culture was carried away into the spirit that happened. Once again, enjoy. I like giving the energy that could never be imagined before. The first music I know after I was born to this world is the gamelan, the Sundanese gamelan music. Sundanese Sunda is the second largest ethnic group in Indonesia. My country is the biggest archipelagos with 17,000 islands. And I am from Java Island, west part of Java Island. And gamelan has its own, the tone scale, its own rhythm, of course, the standard tone and soul. So it's always carried away with my my culture and word culture. And I think, also don't forget we have something from one of the outer islands in eastern Indonesia. Is called Rote Islands. Provides additional inspiration where I bring some pre-recorded of the music of Sasando and the ancient vocal that cannot be found anywhere. It's originally from Rote Island in east of Indonesia, one of the outer islands. Yeah, I was lured by and carried away with how I treat I treat the piano is like acting on something that is on my heart, not only the instrument, not only the music instrument. And this is never imagined before. And of course, also something new also from me after the release the first album with Moonjun, So Far So Close, and comes with Pasar Klewer and with Rumah Batu. But this is really, really, yeah, never imagined before. And I really admire all the musicians and whoever is involved in this project. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Enjoy the music. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dwicky. I think Leonardo just asked me that we listen to a tune.
This album, The Truth, The Fact is done because I will tell you just briefly what happened here. Like all music was improvised, but this is something that we actually implemented in a preview session when we did one long improvisation with Miguel Lee, Carlos Benavente, Aaron Stavi, Asaf, and Dwicky. Dwicky brought some music that Dwicky is kind of ethnomusicologist also. He records kind of music from all around Indonesia. And he brought for this session several kind of pre-recorded chants in music, popular music from remote villages. In this part, in this tune, The Truth, The Fact is done, there is he just sound engineer Jesus Ravira just put that sound. Musicians were listening and they just started like playing, like and you will hear what is happening. Markus, you can go and play this tune.
Saya kasihan
Yeah, that was one of the
Wow.
that was one of the normal that was one of the couple of normal tunes, because
The shortest one.
the shortest one, and one of two very normal tunes.
Romantic side of the romantic.
Yeah, that's a romantic side, the quiet side of the craziness.
The ballad.
The ballad, you know. And see, like, you know, was kind of, even though it was improvised music with a strong jazz attitude, at the end, you know, we were, you know, somehow it became also sort of progressive rock, kind of, you know, it's very difficult to explain what it is, but and also I have to underline the amazing Dwiki Darmawan on Mini Moog. It's a very kind of, you know, kind of microtonal playing, like very typical for Indonesia. And of course, he plays mostly acoustic piano. He plays some Fender Rhodes, some Mini Moog, and also he played harmonium. We didn't include in this album parts that they include harmonium, but on the album there are little parts when you can hear his harmonium, and has that kind of beautiful kind of Indian Eastern kind of vibe.
I believe, Leo, what is very stunning in this track, and I just realized it now. It's basically 2 years since I've been listening to these tracks for the first time, and I realized it now, the impressive work that Markus is really doing in here in the background, and he's really acting as the glue of the musicians.
Absolutely.
Like to create a bridge between that. I remember the first time that I chatted with Markus, he told me that he brought some very specific sets, some very new sounds he hadn't used before. Markus, maybe you can tell us more.
Yeah, that's true. You know, for this project, I actually brought completely new effect pedals that I hadn't had a chance to use before, and I was determined to use them in a very unusual ways, let's say. But then, as I realized that band didn't have a bass player, it occurred to me that I should also play the bass. But I didn't want to approach that just like a bass player, which I also could have done with my guitar. But I started kind of like building these textures that had like very low notes in them, and on top of that, I played like really aggressively crazy, also microtonal parts that kind of became the bass lines. And I have to say I'm very, very, very kind of proud of this, but also Mark Wingfield, who I also worked closely with when he was mixing this, it was surely not easy for him, and because of all that low-end information, but I have to say it was really for me like one of the most extraordinary experiences recording this album, because for some reason I felt very, very, very exhausted after it, which I'd say usually is a good sign, right? But it was too much. I remember, I don't know, I could have slept for 3 days after this recording session, and Dwiki is just, as was already said, it's just so amazing, and he doesn't really like, he may actually be like the freest player of us all on this album, and generally, like, he just kept going and kept developing these ideas, and so as we mentioned, some tracks were 75 minutes long, so it's incredible. And it's kind of great that on the album, since it's a double CD, you can kind of follow this development, and it very much kind of fits with the theme and the the lyrics and Boris's, this idea that Boris had to not only use the original vocals but to overdub vocals. It's kind of like a stroke of genius, I find, because that kind of gives the whole thing like this almost operatic or musical theater kind of vibe, and I think it's very much a unique combination.
Yeah, but I have to add something about you and Dwiki. See, as I always say, like, you are kind of musicians that you always play with excellent musicians, but you make them even excellenter because you have this. No, you have this ability because see, like as a neutral observer, as a guy who is not musician, but a guy who listened over 15, 20,000 albums in my life, like I see this, like, you know, because I believe that every musician had hugely benefited from playing with you because you are not just so-called guitar player, you're not just the guy who plays there, like, but you are actually doing so much work that allows freedom to other musicians. And I have to say, like, you know, look, I met you first time at Iridium in 2011, and I saw huge improvement on Stickman. And since I met you, like Stickman was just going like space, like a space kind of rocket, like, you know, going up and up. And Pat and Tony, they acknowledged that. You know, Tony told me many times, you know, like, you know, Markus is the guy. Even if when Tony brings his own tunes, it's a Markus the guy who puts them kind of into kind of the, you know, the thing that is the thing. And you know, I see like Asaf is playing different kind of music with Markus, Mark Winfield, all these guys, like and Dwicky. Like Dwicky told me, because absence of a bass player. See, like on previous session we had two bass players. Of course, Carlos Benavent plays bass very differently than any other bass player, but he had upright bass by Aaron Stavi. But then this third day, Hari Ketiga day, no bass. And actually you provided that extra texture space for Dwicky just to go everywhere he wanted. And Dwicky is kind of like me a little bit. That's why we are good brothers, because he doesn't stop. He's like a volcanic explosion. Like, you know, he's just, you know, he will not leave you in peace. I remember I was there with my friend Francisco Macias, who came from Malaga, because actually that day was my birthday, 51st birthday, and he came from Malaga. We were watching, and you guys, we supposed to eat, and food already arrived. And me and Francisco were looking at through that kind of window, and because I just came from the room where I was taking some pictures and video, and then Dwicky was doing something that I felt that tune is ending. It was around after like 40 minutes of playing, and I just knocked on that window. I don't know if Dwicky saw me. Maybe he saw me subconsciously, and he just went like to somewhere else. And you guys play for another 40 minutes, and then you know, and you were hungry, and we made like a longish break, and it was just because. And then Asaf say, "Wow, we played a lot. I think we played 40 minutes." I say, "No, it's 72, 73 minutes. I don't remember." Like, you know, I say, "Really?" Because you were just disconnected from time and space, and which means this is you guys reached absolute freedom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess we were all in this place where we were serving the music, and that's really how I see my role. I mean, no matter how you describe it, Leo, and I believe what you're saying and what you're hearing, but really for me it's just serving the music, supporting the other musicians also, you know. So in a way, and that's why I think I felt so exhausted, I was kind of like chasing everybody else a little bit, you know, like trying to always be there for them, and because there was no bass player, you know, just giving that low end.
Look, you were the real captain of the ship, you know, like because if you leave Dwicky, he will just go like boom, like atomic bomb. But you were the captain of the ship. No, there is a kind of iceberg. You know, we have to go this direction, you know, and you were really kind of a captain of the ship.
Yes. Shall we listen to one more song, maybe?
Let me see. I'm debating if you can listen to the first song or maybe the crazy song number 4.
Which one is it?
Like The Loneliness of the Universe.
Yeah, that's my favorite one. Yeah.
Yeah, let's listen to maybe like the first half of it or something.
Yeah, let's go with the flow. Like, you know, let's because this is actually crazy tune, and maybe look, let's listen. Let's go listen, and you know, we will see.
Okay.
Fuzzy, what do you want? Yeah, it's like, I think it's like when you have like,
sono l'allievo delle cose sconosciute. Sono l'astronauta degli spazi della mente. Io sono il carnefice di tutta questa luce. Come l'assassino della terra dei mortali, sono ancora qui, sono sempre qui, sono ancora qui, sono sempre qui.
Yeah, this is actually what I was talking before. This is the tune when the music went a little bit down, and then I said to Dwicky, continue. And this is the part of the 75 minutes improvisation. And what you heard now, it's only 1/6 of the album. These two little tunes. There's so much to explore, and I'm very happy about this, and that I have these amazing friends, who are my friends, who are among my favorite musicians, that we can actually do this, that I actually was able to find, thanks to a Serbian guitar player who lives in Barcelona, Dusan Jeftovic, and a drummer Xavi Reha. I was able to find this place, La Casa Murada, which actually changed my life, because a few years ago I was thinking to move somewhere after 10 years in New York, and I had a couple of other options, but then I decided that this is the place to move, because only magic happens, and it's really great. Thank you, Dwicky. Thank you, Markus, Boris, and Asaf, and thank you, Mark, who is not here. Thank you, Marcello, Alessandro, and Bruno. You know, this is a very special project.
Absolutely, and I just want to add one thing, if I may, just one short little thing. Leonardo, I don't know if you remember, about a couple of years ago, you were with me in the car, and we were touring. We're doing the tour with Deva Bujana and Nicholas Meyer.
With Nicholas Meyer and Jimmy Haslip, yeah.
That's right, and we were listening. You know, we like miles and miles and miles in the UK and Europe. I can't remember.
I think we were going to Marsden, to Northern England.
Something like that.
Was
yeah.
very long, like drive, and we were listening not once but twice.
Yeah, and I just suddenly thought now, usually when people play, like they call it free jazz or free music, it's usually really fun to play, but when you listen, it's intense, it's like, it's a bit dissonant and it's not like you listen to normal music. With this music, it was fun, so much fun to play, but like 10 times more fun to listen. And I remember how we were enjoying ourselves during that long drive to Marsden or whatever, just listening to the whole thing through. And I think at the time we didn't have the actual edited version, so it was long, like 2 or 3 CDs were there, and we were just forgot about the way. I remember that. I remember that now.
Yeah, it's see, like probably Alessandro, Mark, Wingfield, and myself, and Boris were people that listen this more than everybody else. I believe that Alessandro, he said he listened maybe 100 times. See, like I like other day I just was listening original kind of rough mix, because Mark sent me just very, very rough MP3, low quality, like just one chunk of music. And now seeing this kind of transformation, it's amazing, because this is actually an album that has to be listened from A to Z, all 155 minutes. It's not something that you can listen only one tune or other tune. There is a concept over there, because then you can discover so many different things. And definitely we are doing another album like this, kind of sci-fi, because don't forget, spaceship is ready to go to planet Gaia. We have to regroup over there and come back to the planet Earth to save the planet from the evil.
We have to finish the trilogy.
The trilogy, of course.
Yeah. It must be.
Okay, guys, I'm sending you a link of the first tune on YouTube. It's 28 minutes. It's a completely different vibe. You can watch it and then enjoy it. And album is available on Moonjune's website. I will send you also a link. For now, we are released only like 2 tracks, but fully will be released next week. But if some of you are buying album now, I can actually send you complimentary download code, and then you can listen the whole thing. No need to wait for the next week.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Leonardo.
Oh, it was great. And just to say something, like, Markus started this kind of living the dream thing, and how this started, like, me and Markus were traveling a lot all around the world with Stickman, and then he was posting these photos on Facebook and Instagram and tagging them like living the dream. And we were dreaming the dream together, because even though like with Uncle Tony and with Pat Mastelotto, I have a very deep kind of friendship, but with Markus, because of the age and because of other reasons, like we get to be very close friends, like a brotherhood. And we were living the dream. And then Markus said, like, okay, I would like to start this kind of Zoom chats, sharing our dream experiences, sharing dreams with other people, because what else we have in the life than having a dream? Because the only dreams that can allow people to continue to create and to be alive, because without dreams there is no life for me. And we live in a society where nobody wants to dream. Everybody fantasizes about wrong things, but it's not real artistic dreaming. And then this concept will kind of be developed little by little bit into something bigger, we hope. And I appreciate and I thank everybody who is joining this kind of sessions. I see like some of you, like Mark Sullivan or Henry Lohman or a couple of others that are Do you guys have everything else to do in your life instead of joining me and Markus and to do this thing? Like, do you have a real job or something?
Yeah.
And, okay, Markus, maybe you can
Yeah.
say like
Yeah.
the final
Yeah.
words, and
So
maybe Vicky can say some final words.
yeah. So I just wanted to say that Mark Wingfield was very, very important for this project. It's a pity that he couldn't be here. But Mark will actually join me on Thursday night for another Living the Dream episode, and we're going to record together again. We're working on, we're going to record a new Tier album, and I hope that some of you will join us again. I will post the newsletter tomorrow, I think. And as Leonardo said, I mean, it's just nobody did expect that things would change so quickly around the world, and here we are, and trying to make the best out of it, and trying to bring some of the qualities that the live performances had in our lives back via these kind of meetings. And yes, I mean, we travel the world. We get to meet people from different continents. And I actually was in Indonesia like maybe 4 years ago, and it's a really wonderful country. And now being associated with one of the greatest Indonesian musicians, it's just an incredible pleasure for me. And if Dwicky wants to, he can. If he's still awake, I don't know. It must be like 4 in the morning or something. Where
No,
he is.
it's actually midnight and 35, 12:35.
Okay, not too bad then. Yes.
No, it's 11 hours from me and 5 hours from you.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe if Dwicky still wants to say something.
We have a couple of other Indonesian guys. I see my very good friend and absolutely amazing guitar player Agam Hamza, guy that people have to hear because this guy is something else. And I see a couple of other Indonesians, and it's great. Like, we have people like from all parts of the world, from Asia, from South Africa, from Europe, from South America. I see Rod from Chile is here. Hi, Rod. And USA, and I don't see any Canadian here, but probably there is. Oh, okay, there are Canadians. Great. We have people. It's Sunday. Yeah, I know that some people say, "Oh, I have to cook for my family," like and they couldn't. But we are trying. Still, we are kind of seeing like what is the best time for us to bring people, because always there is something else that others have to do. Like but we are trying the best. But actually. We will edit this very, very slightly, and then Markus will put on his YouTube channel, and then you can see that again, and I will share that YouTube link with other people, and you can enjoy, and then let's meet again. George, I have to ask you a question. I have to call you. No, that's just internal joke. Okay, guys. Dwicky, then you have the last word. You are the boss of this situation.
Thank you. I want to say thanks for those who have attended this forum. And I agree also, Mark Wingfield has an extraordinary work, extraordinary role. Once again, thank you. My warm greetings from Indonesia, which is always warm. It's very honored to be with you, to be with all of you here, and let's save our Earth.
Yeah, that's our priority. Let's save this planet in peril, and only with a good, positive kind of approach and creative thing, and. That's the only way. Like, we have to continue creating. Like, even though, like, I am pretty sure that nobody will make any money from this kind of music, but doesn't matter, because we just put like this out, and then it's a bigger picture, because everybody is kind of concerned. We can say, doesn't matter. Let's create, because at the end we'll be all rewarded, because that's how the life works. If you give something to life, life will give you something back. Not necessarily immediately, but we live in a society where everybody wants results immediately. But all these musicians that they are involved with me, not only these, but others, it's all about creating something that makes us feel useful for this life and this very, very strange twilighted zone planet in which we live.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everybody, and
Thank you.
we all hope you to see you again soon.
Bye bye,
Thanks a lot.
everybody.
Ciao,
Bye bye.
everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ciao, ciao. Ciao,
Thanks,
ciao.
guys. Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you very much.